Good afternoon again. This is Dr. Bonsai at Dr. Bonsai's Meme Emporium, and I've got that part 2 of the Ogre review. This is the Ogre Miniature Set 1. This is your basically 3D replacements for the hex tiles that you get in the original game. Although you can also use these to play like a proper tabletop miniatures game of Ogre. I'd love to take a look into that because that looks hilarious. These are 1/300 scale. Current BattleTech is running to 1/285th or 1/265th because reasons. So if you want to cheekily use some of these guys for, inner sphere standard power armor, like regular medium or light tanks, I think you would be well within your rights to do that. Currently, I don't know that this is in stock. This specific box is in stock. Looking at Steve Jackson Games' website, they have a set that comes in glow in the dark plastic, which is kind of gimmicky, but at the same time, you're going to paint them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to open this up. And okay, cool. So let's open these bad boys up. Please, you get. Now, a note on the detail. Now, obviously, if you're looking at these, the red plastic is really hard to show up here on camera, but let me see if I can. Is that better? Yeah, a little bit. But as you can see, the detail is not. It's not going to set the world on fire. This is not. This is. This is Steve Jackson Games. This is not Games Workshop. This is not the same level of quality or detail that we're going to get. And to be perfectly honest with you, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be, especially for this particular game system. So, instructions, these up. Now, the thing that I think a lot of BattleTech players would be interested in, that's kind of tangentially what I also got these for, is that they can pull some double duty as regular vehicles with BattleTech. So you get. Alright, oh boy. It's a good thing it's bagged, because look at all the crap that's falling off. So let's go set these aside here. Okay, so these look like they're just like little sprue caps or sprue runner pieces. So we'll set these aside. So we've got our heavy tanks, which are hollow. They're like little plastic army men tanks. They're not crazy square peg or round peg, hexagonal hull, so they should hold in by friction pretty well. Well, actually, let's find out, since we had this little fella on the loose. Yep, there you go. That's all there it is. So there you go. So these will be easy. That's the other thing. These things are going to be super, super easy to clean up and pick up. I don't know why there's like these two tanks on the extra sprue. I don't know. So there's that, and then you have the howitzers, which are basically like immobile fire bases. So you have the little bunker apparatus, and then you have the gun that again plugs into the top. It looks like. I wonder if, oh yeah, there we go. So you can just slide it on, and then, there we go. Okay, so these are going to be super easy to put together. And then you have the command bunker itself, which is, again, it's got like 3 holes someplace. Ah, here we go. Yep, so there's a piece that fell off. So all those pieces. And these are the GEVs, which are the hovercraft. So as you can see, they are hovercraft. They are hovercraft shaped. They are not highly detailed, but again, they're 2/85th plank pieces. So I'm not like, the world's not gonna end if they're not the most detailed on the planet. So there's that. And then you got these, and again, some of the missile launchers fell off. They're over here, and again, now this one I'm not sure about. So these are the missile tanks. So these are, again, you know, kind of simple. So if we set, okay, yeah, no, those are going to pop off. So that's that. So there's that. And then you have the infantry. So let's see if I can get a good view of these. So again, they're not highly detailed, but they're okay. You have these bases. Now, the one feature that I saw is that they have these little tabs, and initially I thought, oh, you just pop them in the base, but apparently they're so that you can pop them in or out of their bases as the unit takes wounds, and I can see that trick working exactly once, especially if you've painted them, because I bet those tabs would just snap right off. So that's something I'm not going to be adventurous and try to do, but hey, you know, you do you. And then last but not least, you have little quick instruction sheets. This is like they call it Ogre Light. Or, yeah, Ogre Miniature is light. So you get one die. So again, it's this weird glow-in-the-dark thing that they're kind of enamored with. Then you have the rules themselves, and it's about how the ogres attack, the different terrain effects, things about the vehicles. So, I don't know. If you're into this kind of thing, you can. And then you have the instructions to build the ogres and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock some of these off the sprue, and then I'm going to come back and see. Oh, actually, one more thing. So we got the Ogre Mark III. So this is the stat card, which would probably actually work for a standard game of Ogre, to be perfectly honest with you. So, man, there we go. And they're kind of a semi-glossy matte finish. So, as you can see, an Ogre's pretty tough. So you gotta really work to knock it down. So that's the Mark IV, that's the Mark V. You get, and they're double-sided, same thing on the back. So, like I said, I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to do some assembly of some of these and see how easy and or frustrating it is, and do some comparisons with the tokens in the set. So I will see you guys momentarily. Okay, we are back. So that took a lot longer than I anticipated. The main thing was the infantry. So each one of these little infantry dudes kind of tabs in at the bottom of the base. There we go. If you can see those two little fangs on the bottom of each miniature, what you do is you orient it a certain way on the base, and then you tab it in. Now that sounds like it would be easy, but when you've got giant mitts like mine, it is in fact quite difficult. So it took me, that was most of the assembly time, is building these flipping things. And what I've done is I took an example of each of the miniatures and put them next to their respective tokens. So for the standard command post, you have the 3D, in air quotes, cardboard model, and then you have the actual 3D miniature for the command post, so you can play your games of Ogre. So there's that. And then there is the mobile howitzer, which this is the token for it. As you can see, no movement, low defense, pretty good attack strength. And this is the miniature itself. It's got like a little bunker on the front, and it's got a plate. And this one is friction fit, so you can just kind of leave it loose for painting and gaming. Then you've got the heavy tank, and this is the standard heavy tank token. So it can move 3 hexes, and it's got 3 defense, and it's got, you know, pretty decent firepower. And then you have the miniature itself, which is Le Brick tank. So, and again, the turret is friction fit, so you can simply pop it off to indicate a damage state, or, you know, just leave it in, or you could just, you know, glue them down because attack direction doesn't really matter in this game. But if you're playing BattleTech, you might want to leave it open. That way you can use these to represent like Scorpion tanks. That's what I would do. And again, these are the infantry, so they come with quite a few different poses actually. So there's guys kind of with their arms up and down and weapons across their body and offhand. And this is kind of an example token. So if you have two guys on it, that defense stat goes, I believe, stays the same, but the attack stat goes up with more guys that you have on it. And the point of these is you're supposed to be able to pop these off to represent the unit taking damage. I'm not going to do that because I did not have a good time building those, putting them in the bases. Like, it literally was not good. It was like damaging my hands to my fingertips to do that. So next is you have the GEV, or your hovercraft, so ground effect vehicle. So it's defense 2, move 3-4, which means that it can move twice. There's 2 movement phases in Ogre, and then it's got, you know, the 2/2 damage spread, and then it's got the disable token. And this is the actual miniature itself. Not much to it. It's basically got a gun sticking out the front, and then like a wisp of a turret on either side, and one on the top. Whoops, the camera. And then, you know, this one was actually really easy. All you had to do, I thought this was actually going to be difficult because this part is separate. No, worked great. The infantry were in fact the most difficult thing to put together, hilariously. And then you have the missile tank, and the missile tank is 2 pieces. I did glue the turrets down because the friction fit was not sufficient. So it's basically got the little conical command tower and the 3 missiles. And this is the stat block for it. It's defense 2, movement 2, 3/4 attack, and then it's got a disabled side. So that's that. And then you get the big shows, which is, this is your Ogre that you get with the Ogre 6th edition. This is a nice cardboard, 3-dimensional cardboard model. And then you have, compared to this, which is actually, it's a 1-to-1 match as far as like size goes. Now, obviously, not a whole lot of detail here. Again, this is not Games Workshop we're dealing with here. This is Steve Jackson Games, which you would think they've been around a long time, but at the same time, they don't. I'm pretty sure they don't have the resources that GW has. So it's hollow model. It's, again, it's not. You're not going to win any awards for painting it, so to speak. But I also don't think that you're going to be, that if you do choose to paint it, I think you're going to be fine. And then you have the Mark III. This was the Mark V. This is the Mark III. So this is the Mark III that comes with the kit, with the original game. And then you have the Ogre Mark III, which is kind of got less stuff going on with it than the Mark V. So those are the Ogre models. So what do I think? I think this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a nice, light little game for me and my kids to play. It's not that difficult. It teaches them a little bit of math. It's fairly succinct. The rules are light. There's a lot of ways to expand it if I wanted to go crazy and start like really getting after it and like making it a game that I want to play. The miniatures, like I said, they're fantastic. They're gonna put in the work. I don't anticipate having any issues playing this game. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, whether I've lost my mind or if you guys have played Ogre and have enjoyed it. Just let me know. Have a great day, guys.